Hello and welcome to another marvelous video. We are back to explore another iconic character from the world of comic books, and today's character is called Castlebat from the DC universe. Castlebat is a dark multiverse counterpart of Bruce Wayne, who is eventually hired by the Batman who laughs and later uses him as his stronghold. In the Batman comic book series released in 2020 titled Dark Knight, Death Metal, he is a prominent enemy of the detective superhero. So let's take a look in great detail about this interesting take on the world's favourite detective and superhero, the dark origin story of Castlebat. When writer Scott Snyder and illustrator Greg Capullo decided to develop a sequel to their dystopian saga, Dark Knight Metal, they knew they had to increase the level of chaotic eccentricity even further than before, and that's exactly what they did in Dark Knight's Death Metal. The series introduces a whole new army of nightmare Batmen from the dark multiverse and pits DC heroes and villains against some of the deadliest forms of Batman, including one whose soul is united with a city-sized fortress. The dark multiverse, which first appeared in Dark Knight's Metal, is characterized as an ocean of possibilities, basically an anti-reality made up of the greatest dreams and darkest fears of people who live in the real world. It's a zoo of nightmarish Earths, and in many of these distorted realities, Batman not only exists, but is frequently the root of whatever evil has befallen the planet. And in one especially strange hellscape, an aging Bruce Wayne chose to become Gotham City's ultimate defender by becoming the city itself. What? Don't look at me, I didn't write any of this. Anyway, Gotham degenerated into an absolute disorder when all of Bruce's allies were killed, and his son Damian failed in the position of Batman. Batman lured and sacrificed Damian using ancient blood magic to complete a rite connecting his spirit to the very foundation of his beloved city. This allowed his soul to be fused with Gotham, transforming him into a living metropolis. He used this to purge Gotham of all its criminals, even though it caused widespread devastation. Later, the Batman who laughs, who goes on to become the Darkest Knight, persuades him to join the Dark Knights and journey to Earth Zero, or Prime Earth, to conquer it. He consented, and to the surprise of Nightwing and Batgirl, Castlebat quickly supplanted Earth Zero's Gotham. Within a week, Laughs had taken over the city and separated it from the United States onto its own continent. Meanwhile, the sentient Gotham City was christened Castlebat by the Batman who laughs as his headquarters, from which he would conquer Earth. Castlebat was the final defensive barrier against the remaining members of Earth Prime's resistance warriors until Dark Knight's Death Metal issue 5. But when the Batman who laughs, now endowed with godly powers, wanted to divert the Justice League's attention, he ordered Castlebat to go on the attack, and the living metropolis was converted into a Godzilla-sized monster. Castlebat effortlessly defeated each member of the League by utilizing every material and element present in Gotham City. He utilized a cell constructed with interior and rigid metal housed in the Batcave for the real Batman. He used red sun particles from Gotham's astrophysics lab for Superman. Even Wonder Woman and Swamp Thing were vulnerable to Castlebat's attacks, since the Mad Monk, Batman's Golden Age supernatural nemesis, once had a lair full of magical objects concealed within Gotham's streets. He even gets access to the Night Sword because the Oblivion Bar has a location in Gotham. Initially, it looked like nothing could be done to combat Castlebat, but it turns out that the mighty Brainiac has plenty of experience confining entire towns. In the end, Lex Luthor appears in the Hall of Doom and uses a modified Brainiac designed gadget to transfer the soul of Castlebat from his present form to a more miniature bottled metropolis, saving the Justice League. The scheme succeeds, and Castlebat's body is reduced to rubble before the heroes can be murdered. Castlebat is never given the opportunity to exact his vengeance, as Harley Quinn simply takes the bottled city, smashes it to the ground and stomps on it, leaving no chance for any kind of resurrection, also sparing Castlebat to being trapped inside the glass globe like a genie in a lamp for eternities. For a brief while, one of the most powerful physical forces in the Metalverse was Castlebat. He nearly became the Dark Knight who ultimately vanquished the heroes, but with one silent blast, Harley Quinn is able to put an end to him by herself. It serves as a reminder of exactly how vulnerable locations like the sealed city of Kandor might be, and how lethal the technology Brainiac uses actually is. the personality and powers of Castle Bat. Castle Bat is Bruce Wayne's worst fear if he ever sacrifices himself or his loved ones for Gotham City. So this version of him feels strongly about Gotham, making him more endearing but still insane. Everything he did, from killing Damian to curbing crime, was for the sake of the city Bruce felt needed to be preserved. This is also how he rationalized the necessity for mass devastation in his reality, murdering countless people in the process. While doing so, he transforms himself into a hero in his own eyes. Overall, he is a misguided villain who believes he is on the good side. He has a unique physiology, which implies he is composed of all the materials manufactured in the country with which he fused through the ceremony. He also has shape-shifting, which allows him to shapeshift into whatever he wants, as shown in Castle Bat's Batman avatar. Some of his inherent qualities include financial management, given that he is still a millionaire, and prominent person deception, as shown with Damian, and occultism, given that he knew about the ritual in the first place. And of course, he also possesses the Batsuit and utility belt from his time as Batman. After turning into a giant city monster, his size was not the only thing to worry about for the heroes. He possessed an enormous arsenal of weapons and magical items which he easily overpowered Superman and Wonder Woman. Castle Bat has access to numerous pieces of equipment and weaponry stashed across the city, since he incorporates all that was inside his Gotham. Marvelous verdict. It is clear as daylight that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo know how to captivate an audience, especially when it comes to Dark Knight tales. Even though Dark Knight's death metal might be a little overwhelming at times, the continual onslaught of parallel universe Batman not only showcases visual and narrative flair, but also provides insight into all the numerous components that make up who Batman is as a character. Anyone who has read several Batman comics would undoubtedly agree that Bruce has an almost obsessive attachment and sense of responsibility with Gotham. While the narrative is surprising, it serves as a fascinating metaphor for Bruce's overall connection with Gotham City. While Bruce's particular link with his city has been acknowledged and explored in past comics, it has never been explored in such an honest and literal way, making it a very fascinating read at the end of the day. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.